There's the wife. She's running. She's running. She'll be back, she says. That's a promise. That's a promise. I'm a little bit late, you guys. I'm actually editing a video. We're going to get double videos tonight. So you are getting this live stream now. And like probably half an hour after the live stream is over, you will have another video. So that's very exciting. Hopefully we'll get some people tonight. I don't know what's going on, but it's been an odd few weeks for me. Just a lot of different things happening. A lot of different things going on, and I just haven't been able to be as consistent as I would like to be. So hopefully I can explain a little bit about what's going on. And this week's going to be a great week, though. I'm just like feeling energized. I'm feeling pumped, and so I just can't wait to see what the week holds. Sorry, like I said, I was in the middle of editing a video, so I'm a couple minutes behind here. But let me pull up my YouTube stuff, and we'll get going. So I don't know if anyone's here yet. Leave a comment. Let me know that you can hear me, all that good stuff, and then we'll get the show on the road. Bear with me, bear with me. How are you guys? I'm pulling up comments, so I don't know if anyone's on here yet. I don't know if anyone's commenting yet. Looks like just a few of you here. So leave a comment, leave a like if you can. Sorry, my computer's getting a little bogged down, trying to do too many things, I believe. Live streaming. I don't know if you guys have done live streams before, but it can be a lot to try to keep up with, and it's always fun. Hey, 3D Maker Kids in the house. I see you, my friend. I see you. I saw you're gaining some subscribers, so that's pretty exciting. Now I'm seeing like gaming videos come out of there, so I think that's you at least. Have you been posting gaming videos? All right, here we go. Finally coming. Okay, so Royal Learning Time's in the house. Kevin Myers is in the house. Good to see you, Kevin. Great to have you this morning. And yeah, good stuff. Oh, you got Hero. I see. Took me a second. 3D Maker Kids here. Kelly Myers in the house. Kelly, how is the baby? I've been thinking about you, been praying for you. Is the baby well? Everyone on the live stream wants to know. Is the baby okay? 3D Maker, you love doing live streams. Good. I haven't seen. Oh yeah, no, I did see a live stream that you did. That was just a few days ago. I think you had it was a longer one, but were you playing a game? I think you were playing a game. Cannibals in the house. Throw Kittanning love into the chat. My work is done. Yeah, man. You know, Mark's been throwing up all kind of noise at church about Ford City's the best city, and you know, it was just crickets when he talked about it. Then he said Kittanning was the greatest city, and it was like the place erupted. You know, just is the way it is. 3D Maker Kid. Good news, my new cousin's out of the hospital. That is fantastic. I was hoping that would happen, and I knew you'd be close because you were. You said there was premature, and he was a few weeks in there. So glad to hear that. Hopefully, he'll keep gaining weight, and you know, babies just want to thrive. They just want to eat and poop and do all the stuff that babies do, and yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing. Kelly says her baby's doing amazing. Little poop. Yeah, they do poop everywhere, no doubt. My son, he's had more blowout diapers than the other 3 kids combined. It's really crazy, but he's just like a master at it, like all the way up his back. I did one the other day. He almost had it up to his head. It was impressive. I mean, it was pretty impressive. Yeah, Mark, yeah, it's totally blasphemous to say that Ford City's the best. I just don't understand it. So my wife will be joining us here soon. I'll just go ahead and get right into it today. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here because I'm like kind of behind on editing. You probably noticed there was only a couple videos this week and there was no podcast this week. So we are going to have a really good week coming up. So what's been going on is I've been just traveling. Last Friday, I mean, you guys know we were in Deep Creek, Maryland. That's been like 6 weeks ago, but we were there for a week. Then I've been in Greenville a couple of times since then, and one of the times with Greenville was 2 days. Then last week, we've had baptism services, we've had child dedications, just a lot of things that take extra time. I mean, it's all been super blessed. I mean, I'm just very excited about all the things that we've been able to do over the past couple months. But and then this last week, I was in Oklahoma. So from Monday in the middle of the day through Thursday, I was in Oklahoma. Yesterday, I officiated a wedding, and it's just been wild. It's been really, really crazy. And then it looks like, unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have a funeral to do this coming week. So, but that being said, this week it just looks totally different. I don't have as many meetings. I don't have as many things to do, and I'm going to be able to make so many more videos. I have so many Kittanning video ideas, and I just haven't had time to do any of them. So we're going to really be hammering that this week. My guess is that I'll probably have a video every day this week at some point. There'll be a video tonight that will be up probably half an hour after this live stream is over. So I have 2 Oklahoma videos. I have a video of Tina's wedding from yesterday for them. And then I have several Kittanning videos planned. So I want to crank them all out because I want to really get to the Kittanning stuff. I'm just really excited about that. So just very excited about the future there. But just curious from you guys, what I wanted to hear from you today is what videos would you like to see for the city of Kittanning? Are there any events coming up that you would like me to make a video about? Are there any stores that I haven't featured that I should try to pursue? Is there anything in general that you think that I should be doing? Along with that, on the podcast, is there anyone that you'd really like to see on the podcast? My next person that I'm supposed to have on is Scott Davis, who's a city council person. He agreed to do it a while ago, but I haven't been able to connect with him in the past 2 weeks. So hopefully I'll have him on this week. And then I'm going to try something new as well. We're going to do a podcast with Tina. Tina is one of my employees. And then we are going to just kind of tell her story. She has a really, really fascinating story, and a story that I think could help a lot of people. She's had struggles in her life with addiction and with just different things. And then kind of not only to tell that story of how she recovered out of addiction, but the climb up, because I think a lot of people don't realize that when you've been in that life and once you're in the justice system, it's very difficult to get out of it. They don't make things easy. So one of her things is there's a breathalyzer thing that goes in your car. And that thing is the craziest device ever. It's so cumbersome, and it's actually dangerous. It's not safe for you to drive and blow into this thing. It makes you blow into it while you're driving every so many minutes. And so it's just things like that, and then the fines and all the different things that come with that life of getting into the justice system, that's that kind of crawling out of it. I think to tell that story to people will hopefully, number one, get you to the point where you don't ever want to get in trouble with the law. And then number two, that you would, if you are in that situation and you're trying to climb out of those kinds of things, then you would not have no hope, because I think that's what it does. It just takes away all of your hope. And that should be the very last thing our justice system would want to do. We should be trying to give people hope to get them to a better place. I think I just saw a comment about Facebook. I forgot to go live on Facebook, you guys. Can't believe it. Hang on 1 second. Got to take care of that. Got to take care of it. Kittanning, greatest city in the world. Post. Go live. Oh. Camera. Sorry, you guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Don't go anywhere. Like the video while you're waiting. Just like it real quick. Kittanning, I forgot to remind you about the live stream tonight. You've already missed the first 10 minutes, but it's not too late. Hop on over to YouTube. Come and visit us. Spend some time and leave some comments. I'm looking for you for tonight. I'm looking for you to give me some video ideas, to give me some ideas for who to talk to on the podcast, all those kinds of things. So come over, join us for the next 20, 30 minutes. My wife's going to be on the stream, and we're just going to have a good time. Thanks. All right, cool. Thank you. Oh, thanks for the likes as well. I see that. Okay. Thank you for that. I don't know if someone reminded me of that. I just saw the word Facebook pop up on my screen. So let me go back to the comments. 3D Maker, we don't need to know this. Oh, that's probably all the poop talk. Yeah, sorry. You know, it is what it is. You'll have babies someday. You'll understand. Kelly says, "Oh my goodness, she projectile pukes milk everywhere. She drives me crazy." Yeah, babies can do that a little bit. But Kelly, let me just tell you something right now. Cherish every moment that you have with that baby. That baby will not be a baby for very long. She's going to be a toddler really soon, and then you'll see how much of a monster she can really become. Then after that, it gets better. Like 4 years old, it gets better. But two and three is like this downward. Yeah, they're super cute, but man, it's just not great. Anyways, Dustin says, "Hey buddy, sorry I wasn't in church. You know the reason and situation. I do know a little bit of it, Dustin. I didn't really get the full story, I don't think, from your wife. So if you have anything that you guys need, please let me know. I'm not sure what happened with Paul and all that stuff, but we'll talk about that another time. Let's see. 3D Maker says, "Yeah, I've been gaining subs like crazy. Very excited about that, man. Hopefully you pass me up and you just like can make a whole YouTube career out of it. I think that'd be awesome." So I think you got a lot of subs last week from like when we started on this live stream, the shout out. So I hope you got several subs from that. And I hope the momentum just keeps going. Kelly says, "I'm going to try to make it to church this Sunday." Yes, as long as your dad goes. Well, of course he's going to go. What else would he do on a Sunday? Very excited to see the baby. Hopefully you can bring the baby to church. And hopefully you let me hold her. You know, I'm all about babies. Love babies. And also, we're going to be making a church video. I know some of you have requested that we do a church video, and so I'm going to be making a church video. Hopefully that'll be one of the videos this week. And then we're going to go all the way up to our anniversary, which is the first Sunday in November. And so even if you guys like go to a different church, I don't ever like try to steal people from other churches, but on the anniversary Sunday, I would not mind if you just came to our church and celebrated with us. It's going to be our 5-year anniversary celebration, so the first Sunday in November, and it's just going to be awesome. Man, we're going to have a great time. We're going to party. We're going to worship. It's going to be a worship party, basically, in that place. And then we're going to also, I'm going to be casting vision for the next 5 years. And so there's been some amazing stuff that Living Water Church has been able to do over the last 5 years, and I think that we're only just getting started. And we're going to, we're just going to take it to a whole nother level. So very excited about the next 5 years. Very excited about that day. So if you're in the Kittanning area and you can make it to Living Water Church on Sunday, I think it's November 4th. Let me just make sure. Sunday, yeah, November 4th. So mark your calendars. It's going to be awesome. Okay, Kevin says, "I want to see you go undercover, dress like a homeless man, and see how helpful the people of Kittanning are." That's a good idea. I've seen that done in other videos, and then when Mark was talking about that today, from that James McDonald video, number one, I want to go watch that, and then number two, I think it would be really interesting to see how Kittanning would treat you. Be really interesting. So maybe we can figure that out, Kevin. And maybe it would, maybe someone else could do it, and I could be like just the one videoing. Kelly said that you should do it too. So maybe we can work together on that, Kevin. That'd be a really cool video. Christian says, "Just shared the stream on Facebook." Thank you, my friend. That was the one that reminded me. Appreciate that. Kevin says, "Kelly, I don't have to dress homeless." That's great. Kevin, you don't dress poorly. I think you dress just fine. 3D Maker says, "I'm going to try to edit some videos." Get to it, man. Get on it. I'm going to be editing right after this. Come back to the channel within an hour after this video is done. I will have another video up. So come watch it. my trip to Oklahoma, or at least the first part, and then part 2 will come tomorrow. It's been so hard to do these travel videos because normally I'm at like 50 clips or so is my normal video. Like a big one would be 75. My first leg of the Oklahoma trip had 130 videos to put together, and the second leg has 170. So we're talking like triple the editing time. Well, maybe not triple the editing time, but triple the work for sure. So yeah, hopefully have those up. One today, one tomorrow. Wedding video Tuesday, and then just like straight Kittanning right through the weekend. Very excited. 3D Maker, oh no, sorry, Cannibal says, is she camera ready? My wife, she's always camera ready. She's beautiful. She just doesn't always think that she's camera ready, but she's camera ready tonight by her standards. Always camera ready by my standards. Speak of the spirit, here she is. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. The wife is in the house. 16 minutes in, with 16 viewers watching this monumental occasion, Elizabeth Ladisaw is in the house with a blanket in hand.
I'm cold.
It's cold, huh? It's almost like your husband doesn't keep the house warm enough. It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of cold.
Louie's in the house. Welcome, Louie. Appreciate it. Wow, the viewers just went up. Nice. The viewers just went up.
Nice.
Crazy. It's like you just show up and the people come. It's like they knew the moment was going to happen. Everyone called their neighbors and called their friends and said, everyone quick.
Just stop.
Sorry. 3D Maker says, oh boy, just from having a little sister, I know. Yeah. Yeah, you know about babies and kids, but someday when you have your own, it'll be different than your sister. I'm pretty sure. I don't have any sisters that I ever lived with, so. Christian says, as soon as Kelly's kid is old enough, she can pick potatoes. Absolutely. Yeah, she'll be out here. Slave labor, man. Then when they get to the teen years, that's when the monster opens up. Yeah, we're hoping to train ours well enough that the teen years won't be too bad, but we'll see. You just never know. Just never know. Kelly's baby's a month old Friday. Kristen says she can help his kids pick apples. Yes, absolutely. You should be welcome here anytime. My kids will train her up right. So. Thoughts on that?
We need all the help we can get sometimes. So.
We do. And to give you some perspective, like the videos that you're watching and you see how much fruit and how many veggies we have. Number one, this year we had a poor garden. It was not good. And yet we still had a lot of stuff. And we're still getting stuff. But so next year, if we have a good year, if I have more time really to take care of it, we'll have probably twice as much produce as we have. And then all the apples that you saw me pick are from 6 apple trees. And I have 41 other trees in the yard that have not started to produce yet. So the craziness has not even begun as far as fruit goes. If we look like 5 years out, it's going to be like we're going to need every kid in Kittanning to come out here to keep up with this thing, which is going to be an awesome problem to have because we'll have more food than we can possibly eat. And hopefully we'll be able, my goal is that we could share like with everyone that comes to the church that we'll have enough to have everyone in fresh produce for like 4 or 5 months out of the year. So I think that'll be super cool. Is that what you have in mind? She's the one that originally started this whole homestead thing, so.
And I'm not involved hardly at all.
Nope. She spent about 15 minutes in the garden this year.
Yeah.
You helped me plant like 2 things, I think.
Other priorities right now.
Other priorities, yeah. I mean, what could be more priority than feeding your family, but whatever. Whatever. Okay. Kevin says, they say that your kids are 10 times worse than you acted as a child. So Kelly is, yeah. Kelly, you're not in luck, huh? Sorry to hear about that. That must be why our kids are so good,
They're so good.
Real Learning Time says, I had an amazing week. I have a couple of my first blog collabs, and I'm going to be reviewing a couple of homeschool curriculums. Very cool. Well, congratulations on that. The collaboration thing, I wish I was closer to more YouTubers, but I would love to collaborate with some of the other YouTubers. I know I've had Tyler with the vlog and some of the videos, and 3D Maker Kid. Maybe we can do something someday. That'd be pretty cool. Gene Schaefer had a good time at church today. God touched my heart. Glad to hear that, Gene. Glad you were able to make it. Good to have you there for sure. I'm trying to remember. Gene Schaefer. I don't remember the name. Were you new at church today? I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, so if I don't remember you, but I'm sure if I saw your face, I'd remember. But or maybe Gene Schaefer's not your real name. I don't know. YouTube's like that. So let me know if it was your first time and what you thought of the church, other than you had a good time. 3D Maker says, have a local maker on the podcast, not me. Okay, that's a good idea. I'm not sure if I know any other local makers, but I'd be happy to do it. So just so those of you guys that haven't been watching the whole time, I'm looking for a couple things from you tonight. Number one, are there any videos that you'd like to see me make about Kittanning? Any places of business that you think I should try to feature? And then any other people that you think we should have on the podcast. So be happy to take any of your ideas there. Louis says, hi, Kelly. Kelly, make sure you respond. Tyler with the vlog is in the house. Good to see you. Oh, you did respond. All hail Elizabeth. Did I get premieres yet? I did not get premieres yet, Tyler. I don't know what they're waiting for. I was thinking originally that I didn't have enough subscribers, but now I know that that's not true. I heard that it was only 5% of people had it before, and they bumped it to 10%, so I guess you were one of the lucky few. But hopefully they'll release it to everybody. I would love to do that if we could do premiere videos. Like if I had like my big Kittanning video for the week, just do a premiere of it like every Saturday night or something like that. That would be so cool. I would love to have that. So those of you that don't know what that is, premieres is basically where you go live, but you're premiering your video, your YouTube video. And so you get to kind of control how it works, and you get to control the premiere, and then you get to talk to people live, and they get to react to you get to see people's reaction to the video as they're watching it. And so it's a really neat feature in YouTube. You didn't know about that, huh?
No.
So it's new, and it's slowly rolling out, but I would love to have it. And so we could premiere Kittanning videos, or maybe that could take over Friday night, and we could move the podcast to a different day, because I think that'd be really cool to like premiere Kittanning videos and then stick around and talk about Kittanning after the fact. That'd be really fun. Love to play around with it at least. I do have Twitter, yes, so you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Instagram, you can send me snaps on Snapchat, and you can join our Discord channel. So all that stuff is in the description. You can get on all those places. And then we have a special Facebook group called Kittanning, Greatest City in the World. It has over 700 people on it. I would love for you guys to create content for that. Send me pictures of the city, send me stories about the city, and I will definitely feature them. I'd love to feature your YouTube channel or your other social media platforms, and just kind of build an ecosystem about how awesome our city is, because it is. It's awesome. Tyler has a garden question. Go ahead and ask it, my friend. Don't be shy. Ask it. 3D Maker Kid's going to help next year. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I will hold you to it as well, so don't be surprised when you see the request come across. Brian says, "What's up?" Brian, I'm just excited to be alive, my friend. Glad you're here. Miss you in church. Miss seeing you. Summer serve. It seems like we just connect through the summer, and then I lose track of you. So maybe we could do lunch sometime. Maybe we could hang out. Be cool. It says I only have 1 like. I see 6 likes on here so far, but I also see 17 people watching, so it's so close. Like, just scroll down a little bit, hit the little thumbs up. It's great. It's awesome. Helps me, helps you. Everyone wins. Kevin says, didn't make it to men's breakfast because I lost my book. I have several other books at church, so I'd be happy to give you another one. And you can come to men's breakfast whether you have your book or not, whether you read it or not. We still enjoy your conversation. So plan to come next time, get a new book from me next week at church, and we'll make it happen. 3D Maker Kid says, I would be happy to hook you up with a list of makers. Yeah, please do. Send me a list on Facebook or on Instagram. You can direct message me, or on Twitter. I guess you could DM me as well. So any of those places, send me a list of local makers, and I will definitely, I'll call in. We'll figure that out. Brian used to garden as well. However, life got busy. My garden now has a sign above it that reads Walmart or Aldi's. You know, we're pushing through, Brian, but I understand the struggle. I would suggest, highly suggest, if you want to get back into gardening with much less work, look up Back to Eden Garden. And for Pennsylvania, I think it works really well. However, you do still have to weed a little bit, but your son's getting old enough that he could help you out. And it makes it really fun. But Back to Eden gardening is basically like normal gardening, except you always use mulch. And so you can use either leaves or you can use wood chips as the number one suggestion. And not like wood chips that you buy at the store, but actual fresh wood chips. So the city has a pile in the park that you can go and get as many wood chips as you want for free. And just spread it over your garden. And then you dig through the wood chips, plant directly into the dirt. And then once the plants grow up out of the dirt, then you kind of spread the wood chips around the plant again. And so you always have it mulched, and then you don't have the weed pressure. You don't have to fertilize because those wood chips, as they're breaking down, it feeds your soil. And then what else? What are the other benefits? Oh, moisture. You don't have to water as much. So the wood chips will dry out, but they'll keep the dirt underneath still moist. And so you don't have to water nearly as much. In fact, did I water even once this year? I mean, we had so much rain, so, but I don't think I watered the garden one time, which is crazy when you think about it. Oh no, I did in the beginning with the sprinkler, but it was like very sparingly. Anyway, you don't
It was
have.
just for carrots you were trying to grow, I think, or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something weird.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's not important. But anyway, look it up. Back to Eden Garden. It's a great movie. It's a Christian movie. It's super cool. This guy in Washington, he's been doing this for like 20 years or something, and his garden is the most amazing thing I've ever seen as far as gardening goes. Gene says, it was my first time in a long time. God touched me in many ways. Fantastic. I'm glad that you were able to come, and glad to have you. Wait, are you AJ? Is that who you are? Maybe I just don't have the name right. So if you're AJ, just let me know. Kevin says, Facebook is the devil. Thoughts on that, Elizabeth?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think you can get some good stuff from Facebook, but you also get some pretty bad stuff. But you have to discern yourself as well. I don't know. But I think it's for me, since I don't have a lot of time to do a bunch of different stuff, it is a waste of time for me because I get sucked in. It's like, I don't know, it's like an addiction. You're like, another post, another post, another post. You just keep going. So I just try to avoid Facebook as much as possible right now, just because I don't want to lose 45 minutes of Facebook time when I could be doing something else. So
Yeah, I get that. And so for me, it's kind of become where I try to now Facebook, I'm trying to put more information out that I'm taking in. But that's still a struggle for me, is I still have that tendency to just scroll and scroll and scroll. And then what's really bad is when you're on all of these different platforms and you just go between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and you can like do this scrolling on each one. And so it can get really out of control for me. But Facebook overall, I think, has been way more positive in the last year than it has been negative. The page has been great, and I love getting the feedback. And I love how that you can reach so many people, and you can nail it down to exactly who you want to reach. And so if you run advertising on Facebook, I think it's the most amazing advertising platform in the world. Number two would be YouTube, very close second. But it's better than billboards, it's better than postcards, it's better than television, radio, all that stuff. Facebook is number one far and away because everyone's on there and you can target your advertising so specifically. It's insane. Like those of you guys that are on Facebook, you have no idea how much information they have about you, but they have everything. Everything. And so, in one sense, it's a little bit scary, and in another sense, it's this incredible opportunity that if you want to change people's lives or if you want to reach a certain segment of people, it's just stunningly powerful. And so, if you want to learn more about that, let me know. I'll be happy to sit with you and talk to you about it.
They listen to you too, by the way.
Yeah, they do. It's kind of funny when I made the video where I had Edgar Snyder in the thumbnail. Her and I were talking about Edgar Snyder, and then all of a sudden, her Samsung phone
I literally get ads on my phone now that I never got before.
For Edgar Snyder.
Yeah.
Ever since.
Yeah.
So it heard Edgar Snyder, connected her with an ad, and now she has an Edgar Snyder sponsored telephone.
And we talked about the garage door, me hulking the garage door.
Oh yeah,
and
she
I
broke the garage.
actually got ads for fixing garage doors. I'm like, where is that coming from? So yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Not too happy about that either, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and so it is a little scary, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not scared because I have nothing to hide. I show you guys everything anyway. So for me, it's just this great opportunity that it's the most amazing advertising platform in the world. Just hands down, no second place, no close second other than YouTube. But YouTube takes a lot more skills than Facebook does. Facebook, literally anyone with just a pile of money can go on there and change the world if they want to. So cool. That's actually what I was teaching on in Greenville, and it looks like I'm going to be teaching it in Oklahoma as well, is how to use social media from a church perspective, because I think there's a lot of evil people in the world using Facebook for a lot of terrible things, but I am also of the mind that if good people would step up and use it for good, that it's just as powerful both ways. Facebook isn't evil in itself. Facebook's just a tool. And so whatever we use it for can be good or evil. They're just going to continue to change the tool. And we as people that are trying to change the world for good just need to be ready to use that tool for the best means possible. So, all right, truly, I'm going to stop talking about Facebook. But I'm passionate about it. I really am. Tyler with a vlog. I started feeding the chipmunks, but I'm worried about them eating my peaches next year. That's a legitimate worry. Although I don't think they're interested in the peach itself. My guess is your peaches will probably be fine. Your bigger concern is going to be birds. Birds will like your peaches. And so a couple things that you can do for that. Number one, you should have a bird bath. I think you already do. But keep the bird bath full all the time. And so the birds, a lot of times when they eat people's fruit, the birds aren't actually looking for food. They are looking for water. And so they'll eat your peach not for the food source, but for the water source. And so if you can keep them in water, then you're more likely to save your peach tree from the birds. The second thing you can do is netting. And I have some netting that I would be happy to give you some. You can buy it at Tractor Supply in these huge rolls. It's 7 feet long by 100 feet. So I have 7,000 square feet of netting. And so you can take that, combine it probably into 2 sheets, and it would cover your whole tree. And so once your fruit starts to get to the point that it's almost ripe and you want to begin to protect it, you can put the netting over your tree, just fasten it around the base of the tree so that it's completely covered. And then once it's ripe, you can get in there and pick what you need. And that should keep, I think the netting's thin enough, it would probably keep out a chipmunk, and it would definitely keep out birds. We used it in our strawberries a little bit too late. But after we did it, it did protect the strawberries once we put it on there. So next year, hopefully, we'll have a bumper strawberry crop because we'll have it covered the whole year.
And they were good.
They were really good.
They were.
If you've never had a strawberry out of the garden versus a store strawberry, there is absolutely no contest. Store strawberries taste like garbage, taste like hot garbage after you eat a strawberry from the garden.
I'm not a big fan of strawberries either, but wow, they were really good.
It's because the store ones don't have any flavor. That's why I don't think people like them. But they look beautiful, and they travel well. Ours don't travel well, and they don't look as pretty, but the taste is stunning. That goes for most things out of the garden, though. It really does. But if you're feeding the chipmunks, Tyler, feed them the stuff they want, and they won't want your peaches. That's easy, right? Feed them seeds, feed them stuff that they want to eat. Or even better, like you could trap the chipmunks and you could eat them yourself. Then you can have chipmunks with peach side of peach sauce. Like win-win, man. Go for it.
Oh, that's horrible.
3D Maker says you should come out to New Life Church sometime. I'd love to. Where's New Life Church? Is it the one in Apollo? I think you were telling me. Let me know where it is, and maybe I can come sometime. Kelly went and looked at a house today that's close to the church, and I finally got to start driving legally Friday. That's awesome. I'm glad you won't be driving around illegally anymore. That's great. Super excited about that, and I'm glad you'll be close to the church. You want to tell them about the time you drove around illegally, Elizabeth?
When did I drive illegally?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make conversation. 3D Maker says, yeah, child labor. Yes. That's pretty much the only reason to have kids, I think.
Yes, pretty much the only reason, right?
Kevin says, I keep begging God to make me the better version of me I know I can be. Kevin, it's happening. It's already happening. You're in process. My best suggestion to you is don't look at your life day to day, but look at your life month to month and year to year. And I can promise that over time, the longer that you walk with God, you will see change. You just need to keep pressing in, keep reading your Bible, keep praying, get involved with the small group if you can, and keep connecting with the church as often as possible. Change is going to come. It just happens. That's what naturally happens in the life of a believer. So keep it going. Anything you want to say about that? You agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. It is AJ. Okay, good. Now I feel better. Now I didn't forget somebody at church. I'm always worried about that. Like someone's going to come in and then they'll like leave and won't never know who it was. So I'm glad I know who it was. 3D Maker says, are the studio lights that you are using good for the price? I think they're great. They were so cheap. It was like $40 for the whole set. And then you can put whatever bulbs you want into it. So if you want brighter bulbs, you can definitely do that. But I think the set itself is great. I mean, I think it makes a huge difference. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any cheaper than that. I think I have the link in the description. So if you use my link, then I'll get a little money and I can stay on the Amazon affiliate program. And it's like great. So Kevin says, you can download all the info Facebook has on you in the Facebook settings. I heard about that you can do that. I'm going to do that someday. Someone told me that it's like the files are just huge. Like the information is really a lot. 3D Maker, didn't you say in one of the last high school videos that most of the kids did not have Facebook? Yes, that's true. Most of the kids do not have Facebook, so Facebook's going to need to either turn that around, or what I think Facebook's real strategy is that they're getting all the young kids on Instagram because they own that too. So they're still in the Facebook ecosystem. But the reason that I say the best advertising is on Facebook is because none of those kids have any money either. So, so if you're looking to advertise and you're looking to change the world in that way, in a monetary way, it doesn't matter that the kids aren't on there because everyone 25 and up is on there. You guys keep making me come back to Facebook. Real Learning Time says, agreed with Facebook ads. I noticed once that I hit 10,000 followers, it got cheaper to advertise. That's really interesting. And once you have that many, when you're boosting posts, you're reaching your own people, and it just kind of becomes this system where it just perpetuates. 3D Maker has to go to bed. Understand, my friend. Enjoy your night. Kevin, I was only joking about Facebook is the devil. Twitter. Twitter is a really interesting platform. Twitter, I've read things on Twitter that would make me at my worst cringe. Like the things that people say on Twitter are shocking. I cannot believe how horribly people treat each other on Twitter. It's like there's nothing off limits. There are no jokes that are off limits. Like everything is on the table. Twitter is like a madhouse. And I kind of like it for that. But at the same, because people are open and honest with each other. I don't like some of the language that's used and all that kind of stuff. But man, to try to talk politics or to talk religion or to talk any of that kind of stuff on Twitter, forget about it. Like, use it as a news source, but you get lost in the muck really, really fast on Twitter. Tyler says, agreed. Fresh grown strawberries are better than store bought, 100%. Yes, sir. Real learning time. Have you ever had anything horrible happen to you that made you not believe? You have anything on that?
I don't know. Let me think about it a second.
Okay. I'll tell a couple stories from my perspective. So we've had lots of horrible stuff happen. I've had people die in the church. We had a young lady a few years ago. Well, not a few years ago, like 2 years ago, I think. It was just a terrible experience. She actually committed suicide, and it was a real faith tester. I was actually with her when she died. She was on life support, and I was holding her hand as they pulled the plug. And so it was this really horrible experience. But at the same time, I wouldn't give it up for anything, because I learned so much about pain in families and all those kinds of things. We also had another friend from church who he passed away on my property. He was helping us with our house, and he had a heart attack. And so those are the kind of things that would really test somebody's faith. But it didn't test my faith at all, to be perfectly honest with you. Those situations are always this opportunity where you can either go away from God, and you can say, well, since bad things happen, then God must not exist. But bad things are going to happen all the time. And even the Bible tells us that bad things are going to happen all the time. The fact of the matter is that with Jesus in our lives, we can make it through those bad times. Without Jesus in our lives, then we just go downhill. And so I try to use those opportunities as moments to get even closer with God. And both of those people were believers, especially the man who was at my property. He was like one of those people that was no doubt. He was just one of the best, kindest, sweetest people I've ever met in my life. And so I actually got to preach his funeral, and it was hard, but at the same time, it was joyous, because I know where he's at. I have no doubt in my mind where he's at. And we have a God that's completely fair and completely just. And so I never have any issues about where people are or anything like that. But those have been probably the greatest tests in my life. I have one more, but did you think of anything?
No, go ahead. I do, but go ahead.
Okay. So another one for me is dealing with depression. And so there have been times in my life where I've just been in like this deep, dark hole. And it's mostly when I'm doing too much. I'm not listening to my body or my mind or my spirit that's telling me to stop or to slow down. And so then I get into this point where I'm just now in a trough. And once you're in depression, you can't get out without time. It just takes time. If you're just having the blues one day, you can get out. You can pull yourself out of that with just rest and eating properly and all those kinds of things. But when you're truly in depression, you can't just pull yourself out. You can't just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It doesn't work. It just takes time for your actual chemical imbalance to come back into place. And so when you're in those moments, that was a real test for me of my relationship with God. But it's like the closer that I get to him, once again, the closer that I come to him, the better that it gets. And so it's just slowing down, reconnecting with God, and using all those opportunities as moments to just get closer and closer with him. So we've definitely been tested, both of us, but I don't feel like I've never been tested to the point of unbelief. It's my belief has always brought me through the test. Hopefully that makes sense. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, two things, actually, is obviously before being a believer, I could see a lot of things that would, you'd question in the moment, like, okay, well, God doesn't exist, or God doesn't care, or whatever, But I can look back on those moments and actually see his hand on things that, at the time I didn't see, just because I didn't see and because I didn't believe. But I can look back on some of that. It was like, wow, okay, that was God, obviously. And like you had said, with depression, after our third one, third baby. I'm sorry. I think faster than I speak. So
I'm helping.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So yeah, after our third baby, I got really severe postpartum depression for, gosh, 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
2 years. before I actually like even realized. And it's funny because I just read an article on Facebook or a blog, and it just was that aha moment of what's going on. Um, so I think during that time was probably my lowest since I was saved of
And
not great thoughts because you're depressed and not doing anything,
yeah,
just severe postpartum depression. And um, that was probably the furthest I felt from me after being saved. And I feel like I'm slowly getting back out of that, and I have days where I'm like, I feel like I'm back, but then the next day I feel like I'm taking 5 steps back again.
yeah.
So it's been a real big struggle, and I still believe and I still have faith, but it's been a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a struggle.
So let me give you from my perspective on that, because I just to try to help some people out there. Okay, so when she was in that place, I didn't realize that she was there for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe the first year, I just kind of thought, she's really busy. She has 3 kids. She's like overwhelmed. Not that it was depression, but when she told me, she read that article, told me about the article, it was like this moment where then she brought into the light what had been hidden in the darkness for so long. And it wasn't that she was hiding it, it was almost like it was just hidden from her mind. But then when it was illuminated and she decided she was going to talk about it and start to try to work through it, it was like at that moment, like we started this slow uphill climb.
Yeah.
And then it was, for me, it felt like our anniversary actually. When we had our anniversary, I felt like it was the first time in like 2 years where I felt like I just got my wife back, and it was like really this awesome moment.
Yeah.
And I never felt for 1 second that like she didn't love me or like any of that kind of stuff, or I never wanted to leave her, nothing like that. But it was just like she wasn't the same. But now it's like it's slowly turning and changing. So if you're out there and you're dealing with depression, those kinds of things, talk to somebody, anybody. It doesn't matter. Hopefully you have someone close to you. Like we have this husband and wife relationship that's just on another level. But if you have a good friend, if you don't have anyone, reach out to me on Facebook. I will be happy to either talk with you or I'll connect you with someone in the church who has some like-minded things with you, and they would be happy to talk with you. But it's so important for you to bring it into the light. You cannot keep it in the darkness because it will eat you alive. It really will. You agree with that?
I do.
Okay.
I do. But you have to realize it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully right now, even just as we're having this conversation, like if you're realizing that you're in a depression mode, then it's time to bring it into the light. Man, we got real serious there for a second. 3D Maker Kid still in the house. Yes. I knew you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't leave us yet. We're just going to be a few more minutes. Have a great night, 3D Maker. Kelly Meyer says, do you believe in ghosts? If so, do you have a ghost story? Elizabeth.
I don't. Sorry.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I used to be scared of ghosts and aliens and all that kind of stuff. Now I just believe that it's like, I believe it's spiritual. So I guess I shouldn't say I don't believe in ghosts. I do. I believe in the demonic in this world. And so when I read the Bible and I read the stories about Jesus, a lot of the things that I think we think of as ghosts or as alien encounters are actually like demonic things that are happening around us. And the reason that I'm not scared of it anymore is because every time you speak Jesus' name, every time that a believer like speaks in power for those things to go away, then it doesn't exist anymore. Well, not that it doesn't exist anymore, but it doesn't have any power. Jesus has all the power. And so if I have Jesus, I feel like none of that stuff could possibly harm me or my family. So I'm like, good to go. Don't care. Anything else to say on that?
That'll be good. Evan's
going through a rough time. Tough time. I didn't mean that. Autocorrect. Okay. Evan lost 3 jobs in the past month. I'm sorry to hear that, Evan. That's not very fun. What are you? What kind of jobs are you looking for? Where do you live, Evan? Maybe we can talk about that on here and see if we can find you another job. Christian says, so Andrew, being all serious, TV shows have depicted heaven as tons of different things. Supernatural shows it as your best memory, the moment where you were happiest. What do you think about that?
Good.
Okay, so I have thoughts on everything. So heaven, depicted on a TV show as your best moment, any of those kinds of things, here's what I would say about heaven. All of those things, like picture the very best moment in your life, the very best experience that you've ever had, that will look like the worst moment of your life when you compare it to heaven. Heaven is a place that you cannot even possibly imagine what it is. When the Bible talks about heaven, it's going to be absolutely incredible. There's no fear there. There's no anxiety there. There's no depression there. All that stuff is completely obliterated. And there's no memory of that stuff there. You're not even going to, there's nothing bad. It's all just in the presence of God. And so when you think about God and how big he is and how great he is, all of his perfections, all of those things will be fully magnified in heaven. And so when you stand in his presence and worship him for all of eternity, you're never going to be bored. You're never going to get tired of it. It's just going to be this increasing revelation of the perfection of God and who he is. And so I even think about like all of the things in our lives. Like, this is just a theory. The Bible doesn't say anything about this, but I really think that like for 1,000,000 years that we're just going to talk about Andy, and God's going to go about through my life and just all of the things that happened in my life that he was working in, all of the ways that I like turned away from him and that he still had grace for me, and all the things that happened in my life, like the word that I spoke to someone at a grocery store and it caused them to go home and tell their husband that something great had happened, and then like the husband's life was changed. All those chain reactions that happen in our life, like I think that God's going to point all that stuff out, and we're just going to be, our minds are going to be so blown about how great he is. And then when my 1,000,000 years is over, then we'll talk about Elizabeth. And when Elizabeth's 1,000,000 years are over, we'll talk about Kevin. And we'll just go through, and it'll be like when that billion times 7 billion years are over, we'll have just scratched the surface of eternity, and we'll still have eternity to still worship God. Like, you have no idea how good heaven is. There's no TV show that's ever going to depict it for you. It's not possible. Same way, no TV show can depict how terrible hell is going to be. So think about that too. Kevin, for anyone that has never been depressed, I don't think you can explain it to them in any way they can understand. True?
I think so.
Yeah, probably true. It's very difficult if you've never been there. And that's, in one way, I'm kind of thankful that I have been there. I'm not like clinically depressed where I'm on medication or anything like that, but I've been in those moments, and so I feel like I can relate now. Whereas before, I honestly couldn't, up to the age of, when did we move here? 7 years ago? Mm-hmm. So when I was 20, up to the age of 25, never had a moment like that in my life. Never had it happen. And never until I was a Christian did I have it happen, which is super interesting. But I was like happy-go-lucky kid. I had my dark stuff, which we could talk about another time. But I never felt depressed. Just, I don't know, interesting. Kelly says, ain't that the truth? Yep. Kelly says, I'm 3 weeks without postpartum so far. I've had a few days where I went depressed, but other than that, I haven't been depressed. Fantastic. Keep it up, Kelly. If you ever feel yourself going there, please reach out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. 3D Maker Kid, I swear that I saw an angel once. I totally believe you. Angels are 100% real. Totally believe in angels. But angels are not ghosts. That's where I'm at. Cannibal says, I saw an angel. It was girlfriend. Now she's a devil. No comment. You have a comment on that?
I do not.
Yeah. I do have a comment. Been there, my friend. Move on to the next one. Find yourself one like this one.
Don't move on to the next one. Just wait till you find the right one.
Well, that's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant. Wait till you find the right one.
I know.
She said it better.
I have to razz you. You know that.
Kevin says, wait a second, there is still tacos in heaven, right? I can't imagine a heaven without tacos. 3D Maker Kid says, seriously, no joke. I believe you. I believe the angel thing 100%. Never seen one myself, but excited to see one someday. But at that point, you'll be way more interested in God than you will be any angels. Read Revelation and read Isaiah chapter 6. Just get that picture a little bit of what heaven is like. And when they're explaining it in Revelation and Isaiah, they're explaining it with human words, and so it still can't even scratch the surface of what you're going to actually feel when you're in that place. It's going to be so awesome. Kelly says, my angel is my beautiful daughter. Did you ever show Elizabeth a picture of her? I did not, but I can. Your daughters are beautiful too. Do you think your daughters are beautiful? You agree with that?
I do, yes.
Anything else you want to say about that? Well, help me out here.
I don't know. I think all kids are beautiful. I mean, not just ours. They're all beautiful in their own way. I don't know.
But our kids are the most beautiful. I'm just kidding. Although our oldest daughter, she thinks she is the best at everything. And she does think she's the most beautiful person in the world. So, if that counts for anything. Oh, Kelly, by the way. Kelly, I do not have a picture of your daughter in my Facebook Messenger. Just looked at my whole conversation history with you, and I do not have a picture. So send me a picture on Facebook Messenger, and I will show my wife. Also, we were just talking about you today. Do you still need the baby bathtub? Because we still have the baby bathtub. And I still have it saved for you if you want it. If you don't need it anymore, that's okay. We'll get rid of it somehow. But if you still want it, it's yours. Kevin says, we are all beautiful to someone. For every person out there, there is someone who will cherish and love them for who they are. Totally agree. I'm still waiting to find that person, but hopefully someday, Kevin. Hopefully someday.
Probably not, though.
That's a great place to end it, I think. So Kelly says she will take the baby bathtub. Kelly, I will take it to my office tomorrow if you can stop sometime this week and get it, or if your dad can stop and get it and haul it home on his bike. Please let me know. Anyways, you guys, we certainly love you. We will see you next Sunday. There will be a vlog up by midnight tonight. So stick around, hang out on the channel for a while, go watch some older YouTube videos of mine, and yeah, look forward to the new travel vlog to Oklahoma, the most exciting state in the Union. Not really, but God bless you guys. Talk to you soon. See you next time.
Good night.